Sometimes it feels like there are too many opportunities out there, and it's hard to know where to even begin. Hi, I'm Evelyn, and for many years I've been navigating the world of chart trading. Today I want to show you how you can take your first steps calmly without the rush, complex jargon, or extra stress. All we're going to do is observe, analyze, and put things into practice. In my community, everyone moves at their own pace, so you'll never feel left behind. And now let's dive into the chart analysis. We'll look at how I handle real situations together, and I'll break it all down step by step. Let's get started. All right, I've got almost everything set up for today's session. I've selected the pairs and tools I'll be working with, Zigzag and Stochastic. They help me read the chart more clearly. Zigzag highlights key reversal points and filters out noise, while the Stochastic indicates moments when the market might be overheated or weakened. Together, they provide a cleaner view for analysis. All right, let's begin. Here we go. All right, looking at the first pair, I noticed that after a climb, there has been a gradual weakening. One of the indicators suggests a trend reversal. The lines have crossed and are now moving downward. Plus, the chart shows a downward move that overtook the previous upward leg, often an early sign of a sentiment shift. Based on these factors, I decided to go short. Great, let's keep going. Every day I go live and share my analysis right on the chart. Members of my community get to see the entire process live. How I analyze a situation, what I'm looking at, what options I consider, and when I decide not to enter. I explain everything in simple terms without overwhelming you with jargon. You can simply observe, analyze along with me, and gradually build your own understanding of what's happening. For some, this has led to more confidence in reading charts. For others, a calmer approach to market swings, and for many, it has been a step toward new goals. It all starts with one simple step: taking a look inside to see how it works. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. Join us and let's continue live analysis together. I see the overall trend is still upward. There has been a pause and a small pullback within this trend. Below the current levels, there is a zone that has seen multiple reactions. Price hasn't been allowed to drop below. Stochastic is low and starting to turn upward. The lines are converging and shifting direction. This could be an early sign of a return to the main upward move. Based on that, I'm going long. So far, everything's logical, no emotions, and that's important. Let's see what we have here. I notice a zone where the price has reversed twice at the same level. The chart pattern resembles a double top, a classic formation that often signals a reversal. Looking at the Stochastic, the second touch of this zone shows lower peak values than the first. This divergence can signal weakening momentum. After a strong downward move appears, I decide to go short. All right, team, let's keep the momentum moving forward. Checking this one out. After a strong decline, I see a shift forming on the indicator. The first sign of a potential reversal appears, followed by a price shape with a noticeable lower wick. That may suggest the downward pressure is weakening. Based on that, I anticipate a possible move up. Let's stay sharp and keep the pace up. All right, looking at this pair. I spot a divergence between the tool's direction and the chart's behavior. One indicator marks a top, but the other doesn't confirm it. Also, the oscillator line moved beyond the upper limit and has started to turn. A confident move downward is forming, and I decide to follow it. Nice, let's keep going, team. How do you feel about trading? If you're watching this video, it means you're already interested. And in my experience, that's one of the most important first steps. I noticed a long time ago that real change doesn't come from motivational speeches or endless theory. It comes from observation, practice, and dialogue. That's exactly why I created a community where we analyze charts together on a live stream. Members ask questions, and I show what works and what doesn't. Everything happens at a calm pace, no complex jargon, no pressure that you should already know something. You connect, see my decision-making process, hear the explanations, and if you want, you can start applying this approach in practice. I personally participate in discussions, answer questions, share my vision, and explain the logic behind my work. This isn't a pre-recorded course. It's a live process you can join at any time. If you feel that this format is a good fit for you, check out the link in the description or in the pinned comment and see how it works from the inside. And now, let's get back to it. Let's stop right here. I see the move continues to follow a downward trajectory, converted by a new low on one of the indicators. Then a pullback begins, during which the other indicator breaks above the upper range. The chart returns to a previously marked zone. Considering this behavior, I expect the current trend to continue and open a trade in the same direction. Great when actions start to feel intuitive, but never switch off your brain. Let's keep going. Let's check this one. I see the price has been moving sideways in a range near a key area. Meanwhile, one of the indicators has been sitting in the upper zone for a while. When price breaks out above the market level, the indicator pushes even higher into a zone that often signals overheating. Considering all this, I assume the breakout may not last. I go short. That one wasn't easy, but it played out well. Moving on, I noticed one of the indicators has stayed in the overbought area for a long time, a spot where reversals often occur. A pattern is forming on the chart that hints at weakening upward momentum. Then I see the indicator start to turn. That could be a sign of a shift. I choose to go short. All right, friends, let's do a couple more. Let's go here. I see we are approaching a key zone that's influenced price before. This moment, one of the indicators is deep in its lower range and starts turning upward. This kind of setup often becomes the starting point for an upward move. And now let's wrap things up. Okay, as expected, price dipped a bit, but the overall trend remains upward. I notice it approaching a key zone that has previously influenced behavior. The indicator is in the lower part of the range and starts to reverse. It fits the model I had in mind, so I decide to go long. Perfect! That brought a whole new energy to the session. So what did you think? Trading isn't about getting it right quickly. It's about sustainability and finding a calm rhythm. If you found this interesting and want to understand the logic behind the actions, step by step and without the rush, I invite you to my community. Here you can start at any level, watch the live breakdowns, listen to the explanations, and ask questions as soon as they come up. Everything happens in real time. I do detailed chart analysis, share my thought process, and show how I make decisions in practice. The link to join is in the description and in the pinned comment. Take a look inside and see if this format is right for you. Maybe this will be the step that begins a more focused and conscious approach to working with charts. Thanks for being here. See you soon.